Hey guys, welcome to another update video for my 2002 Sentra SE-R Spec-V. This is possibly the biggest update yet to the car, and in this video we'll go over everything that went into it. As you can see, we had a fairly large pile of parts sitting there ready to go into the car, mainly because I was waiting for Arizona desert temperatures to go down, and I wanted to install everything at the same time. Starting off with a full 5-lug conversion kit from DJI. The front was paired with some brand new spindles from eBay, fresh Timken bearings, and new OEM snap rings. The rears come already pressed together and include some required spacers for installation. Fairly simple process, however, if your car has ABS, the reluctor rings will need to be transferred to the new hubs. The only problem is that there's a 2 to 3 millimeter difference in the diameter of the hub, so they will need to be machined down and pressed on. Front brakes consist of Z32 4-piston calipers from Parts Shop Max. These are $315 and include pads. However, I found those pads to be too aggressive for daily driving, as they squeal loudly when you get some heat in them. I have since swapped to the same type of pad I am running in the rear, and they are much quieter on the street. These were paired with some S13 to Z32 caliper brackets from eBay. However, when installed, I had an issue with the rotor not being centered in the caliper very well, so some 2 millimeter shims were installed to correct the offset. Front rotors are 12.6 inch units for a 2009 to 2013 Nissan Maxima. And lastly, some StopTech stainless brake lines for a S13 to Z32 caliper conversion. Rear brakes will remain stock size for now, with some 5-lug conversion rotors from 2J Racing. And genuine Nismo lug nuts. Next up, we have some 10 millimeter traction spacers from 2J Racing. These alter anti-lift under acceleration and anti-dive under braking, resulting in a more stable braking feel, less weight transfer and front lift under acceleration, and increased grip while on throttle in a corner. Also from 2J Racing is their 25 millimeter rear sway bar. This is a fairly easy installation and includes everything you need from bushings to brackets and all hardware. However, I did find the M6 bolts included for the parking brake cable spacers to be too short, so I had to source some longer ones from my spare bolts box. Finally, we have a 4-point front lower tie bar from Ultra Racing, which braces the front lower control arm mounting points to the chassis, increasing overall stiffness. Overall, I would say that normal braking feels about the same as before. However, when you really stand on the brakes, the pedal feels much tighter and the car stops very quickly. There was some difference in initial braking feel between the Parts Shop Max brake pads and the Dynamic Friction Active Performance pads, probably because the Parts Shop Max pads have better initial bite. Since the pads are easily interchangeable, I'll definitely hang on to them and swap them out for track days. And I just have to say, those calipers look pretty damn good behind those shiny new wheels. They are Avid 1 AV26 in Hyper Black, 17x8 with a +35 offset. Not super flush, but still a great stance without requiring much in the way of clearance modifications to the fenders. I do plan on adding some 5 millimeter spacers soon and will eventually upgrade to a wider tire. For the little time I have been able to sample the handling improvements, the car feels great. That 25 millimeter rear sway bar gives it just the right amount of rotation. I can't say for sure if the traction spacers are doing anything, but it's an inexpensive mod that certainly can't hurt in the grand scheme of things. I do plan on getting some additional time in the local canyons very soon, and will post some footage from that when available. Until then, here are some additional shots of the car. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the support.